Welcome back, Pedokama Podcast family, to another episode of Book versus TV adaptation for Bridgerton. So you know how this goes already. If you've seen the other two, we are going to discuss the book versus the show and give you our thoughts. So if you're interested, stick around. Okay, so we are starting with the book, which is Daphne's book. If you're unaware, Bridgertons, they have 8 children. They go in alphabetical order, starting with the letter A, ending with the letter G. Yep.
Yeah, because there's
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. G, H. Nope, H. Sorry.
I don't even. Yeah.
I don't know. So the first book starts with Daphne. I actually read this book before the series was announced.
And I was the opposite. I watched the series first, and then I read the first book.
Oh, yeah, I read the book and ate those books up back in like, I don't know, 2019 or something. But so this book starts off with Daphne. Daphne is she's out. This is her 3rd season being out, not married. And her mother is like, "Girl, you need to find you a husband. You making me look bad." So there is Mr. Burbrook, something Burbrook, Nigel, that's his name, Nigel Burbrook. Nigel Burbrook in the series is portrayed as this old man. He's not an old man. He's like the same age as Daphne. He's just
odd. Not even odd. He's just not. Yeah, he's odd.
He has awkward social.
Yes, but he's a nice guy.
Yeah,
Daphne likes him as a friend.
As a friend, correct.
Yes.
And he's just like, "Why don't you marry me?" And she's like, "No," because she really is holding out for a love match. And so whistle down.
Why wouldn't her parents? She grew up in a household where her parents adored each other. Yes. So to her, this is possible. It's correct. Not some far off fairy tale.
And so she's at this party. Nigel Burbrook is hounding her in the hallway. Now, as you know, you're not in those times. You're not supposed to be alone with a man. That is just a no-no. Like, unlike today, where they don't care. They might hear you scream and be like, "What's that?" It's not my business. Anyways, she's in the hallway and he is drunk off his behind. And he's just like, "Marry me." And she punches him in the shit. At this point, we see what's the boy's name? Duke. The Duke. What's his name?
Wow. Simon.
I keep thinking Anthony. I'm like, Anthony is the brother. What is the Duke's name?
Anthony.
I'm not doing this with you, Elizabeth. So we see the Duke. The Duke comes around. He's going to help her because he can hear the conversation. He was like, "Oh, she really doesn't want to be with him. Let me go do my gentlemanly duties and help her out." And when he comes around the corner, he sees that Daphne punches him in his face. And she was like, "Oh my God." And then he starts laughing because he thinks it's the funniest thing on the planet. And she's like, "Are you laughing at me? Aren't you supposed to help me?" He was like, "Well, I mean, you don't need my help." And that is their introduction.
And he's smitten by her from the get. Like, he's like, wow. And this is her, I think it's her 2nd or 3rd season out. Mm-hmm. It's not because she's ugly. It's not because she's, awkward or anything. Daphne checks off a lot of boxes. Mm-hmm. But she's seen more as a friend. Mm-hmm. Because she's also not as frilly and all that. But so she is a very eligible bachelorette.
Yes.
She's just the friend. She's friend zoned by everybody. Correct. Except this one guy, Nigel.
Poor little tank. And also, in the series, they made her the diamond. She was not that. She was an average looking girl as far as
Yeah.
the author described her.
Yeah. She had beauty, but it wasn't anything that like set her
Stood
out.
out. Yeah. So he helps her dispose of the body. I say that like he's dead. He's not dead, but he helps her get rid of the body because that's not ladylike. They go in, he sees Anthony, and Daphne's back with her mother again, and he's in a ballroom and he sees Anthony, and Anthony introduces him to his other brothers, B and C, Colin and Benedict. I was like, I need to think about it. And so they were like, oh, look, Daphne's over there with mom. Damn. None of them want to go to their mother because she made a list for every single one of them of who they should marry as well. So they're like, damn, Daphne's over there. She got it. I don't know what to do. And he's like, go help your sister. What are you doing? So Anthony brings her over there Simon over there to basically introduce him because he doesn't know that they met in a hallway. And they go dance. And that's when they concoct their plan to do the fake dating trope. This was a fake dating that I enjoyed. If y'all know me, I'm not a big fake dating person. I actually enjoyed this one.
I don't mind them. I think they're entertaining.
See, but this one I felt like there was a genuine friendship, whereas a lot of the other times it's like, I hate you, but really you like each other. Like, I don't want to deal with it. Anyways. So they start their fake dating. Anthony is in on it, by the way. Anthony was not unaware.
In the show, he was unaware, right?
Yeah. In the book, he's fully aware of what's happening. They're fake dating. They grow feelings for one another. He comes to a ball one night and is like, hey, I'm leaving. I just want you to know. And she goes out into the courtyard or something. I just want to point out also, in the show, they made it seem like they had a fight. She was very much like, hey, I know you want me.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we go in this garden?
She was ballsy.
Yeah. Daphne was like, hey, let's go in this garden.
Now, not sloppy. Like, she wasn't a loosey-goosey.
Yeah.
She would just
she knew it was him
attracted. She knew, like, there's something about this guy.
Yeah.
And she wasn't scared to go after it.
Correct. So they go in the garden, they make out, Anthony finds them, and he was like, you're going to marry my sister. And he was like, nope. Simon's like, no, I can't do that. I'm so sorry. Get over yourself. So then he was like, I'll have a duel with you in the morning. And I was like, okay, fine. And then they leave. And then Colin comes back and she's like, which also, I forgot, in the books, her and Colin are super close. They're like ace team. In the show, I feel like she's more close to Anthony than she is to Colin.
I agree. Because even in the epilogue.
Yeah.
In the epilogue. Mm-hmm.
So they go, Colin comes to the house and he was like, I heard about what you did. And she was like, you have to help me. I can't lose him. He's the love of my life. Wait, what did Ariel say? I love him, Daddy. Colin's like, ugh, fine, let's go. And she rides and she's like, stop. And she tells him, I guess somebody saw them. Colin says that somebody a friend of his told him, hey, I saw your sister and Simon in the garden. Now, the friend wasn't going to tell, but she used that as a ploy to get him to marry her because she was just like, F it. And he told her before they even agreed to it, he was like, look, I just want you to know, if we get married, I can't have kids because that was something they talked about. Yeah. I can't give you kids. And that was something that they talked about frequently. Like, she always wanted a big family because she came from a big family. She wanted to be a mother. That was her thing. And so he was like, you know, you all right over there? Okay. And so she says, that's fine. We'll get married. So they went and got married. Mrs. Bridgerton fumbles, telling her what to expect on
biggest disservice.
Just
she goes in this, Daphne goes in this so naive.
Yes.
Like, she just knows that you get married, you love each other, you're madly in love, adore each other, and have kids and raise them. And she knows
Nothing.
nothing other than that. And I mean it so literal. She just knows we go to the altar, we get married, and we go and make children. She doesn't know how the children are made, what, just that they have to have smirks.
And even that, she's not even sure of, because she doesn't go into detail because she was so uncomfortable explaining it. And so she was like, you did this with dad 8 times? And she was like, no, I did it more than 8 times. She was like, but you have 8 kids. So that's how much she doesn't know. And she does not explain that. She's just all flushed and red in the face. She's like, I can't. I did my best. Like, lady, had the conversation. Anyway, they go into it. As soon as they marry, they leave. They go to Cliveden, which is his Duke estate, whatever. And he was like, yeah, it's like a day and a half. And she was like, we're going to spend our marriage night in a car. Not a car, a carriage. And he was like, oh, that was so insensitive of me. We can go to an inn. And he tries to get them 2 rooms.
Yeah.
And the innkeeper was like, I don't have any more rooms, sir. I'm so sorry. And she was like, you don't want to spend the night with me? And then they end up hunching.
I mean, I would feel the same way.
Yeah.
I would probably cry.
Yeah, but I think the way it's explained, because we know that she's naive, I don't think for me, I would have been like, because I know. For her, I think she thinks that's the only way to consummate it. You're supposed to spend the night.
Yeah.
She does not understand what consummate means.
She was just ready to officially be married to him.
Right. So they go the next 2 weeks, they're in blissful Hunchin happy land.
Partially.
And then she talks to Miss Colston, who is the head maid of the house or something. And she said to her, Miss Colston says to her, I used to tell Simon's mother all the time, you can't have a child if your womb doesn't quicken with good seed. And then she puts 2 and 2 together when she had sex with Simon and was like, oh my God.
Because he would never finish.
He would pull out.
Yeah.
His pull-out game was strong.
Yeah.
Pull-out game was strong.
Daphne was stronger, though. Literally.
Literally. So when she figures it out after they have sex or whatever, and he goes they get in an argument.
About it.
And
he kind of goes and, well, no, he explains to her why he's doing it.
Yeah. And she's like, I get you, but you said that you can't have kids, not that you wouldn't. Or, yeah.
Yeah.
And he was like, semantics. I'm with you, Simon. I said, I can't.
I mean, he can't, because of a vow that he made
to his dad. Yeah. He wanted to end the line with him himself.
Because his dad
was a jerk.
Yeah, so Simon grew up and he had a speech impediment. And his dad, and it wasn't even, I just think it was nerves, knowing, because dad, so his mother died when Simon was born. And I think his dad just held that against him. And then he was very successful man, and he wanted his son to take over the family legacy and all that. And now he has a son who's deprived of his mom's love because she's no longer around. The father blames him for the mom's death. Yep. And his nanny or nursemaid is the one that ends up bringing him up. And while he's little, he has a stutter. The dad gets frustrated and he's like, that's not a son of mine. I'm not going to get him tutors. She's like, you know what? You're wrong. I'm going to teach him. And she did.
She very much fought for Simon, and I love that.
Such a gentleman.
Yeah.
She did a great job. Yeah. And so that's the history. So because of how his dad was with him, he's like, I don't want to continue. That's all he cared about was his bloodline. I don't want to continue it.
Correct.
I'm done. It ends with me.
Correct. So he goes and gets sloshed. He comes home. He comes home.
Go ahead.
And Daphne is in her room because, fun fact, Did you know that poor people are the ones that share the same bedroom and rich people did not? They would have their own size rooms. The men's room would
That's
be
all I
bigger, but
need.
it'd be like a foot. Like if it was like a 13 by 12, she'd have a 12 by 12. But the point is,
Yeah.
whatever, I take it. And they have their own bathrooms in their rooms. They had their own closets. They had a sitting room.
They don't build houses like that anymore.
Give me that.
Yeah.
Don't come for me, my husband. I'm just saying. Give me my room.
No. Like I would like a space that,
it's just girly and feminine and just me.
how I want it.
Yes.
Nobody's touching anything. Nobody's moving anything but me.
Yeah, that would be fantastic.
Yeah,
but yes. So he comes home. He goes to her bedroom, and he's like, "I'm sorry. I love you." No, he doesn't say I love you yet. I apologize. He says, "I'm sorry, but I want to be with you. I care about you deeply." And she's like, "You're drunk. Let's go." She puts him in the room and he's like, "Are you going to stay with me?" And she's like, "No, I want to stay with little pug ass." He pulls her down on the bed. They take a nap. She wakes up. He's still asleep. And she's like, "Oh my God, he's hard. I'm going to ride him." He wakes up out of his sleep. He's like, "Oh my God, have your way. Do it. I'm with it." Right? In his mind, they're making up. And she is like, "Nope, I'm going to have a baby because now I know how it works." So when he is ejaculating, because I'm an adult, fuck it. Anyways, when he is ejaculating, she doesn't hop off. She takes it all.
Even though he tries
to push her off.
And she walks in.
She does. And you're saying you might say to yourself, he's a man. Why wouldn't he push her off? Because he's still drunk. He is, when I say drunk, I mean, he was slurring.
Yeah.
He was just drunk.
Gone. Stumbling.
So even in the book, it says he realizes it too late. Like he's like, "Oh snap, I'm coming. Wait, she's still on top of me." In his mind. So he's gone. And then he gets even more pissed and he leaves her. Jerk. And in this scene, Daphne lets me know she's crazy. Because as he's arguing with her, Daphne curls up and puts her legs up. Because that's what they used to say. If you put your legs up on your back or whatever, like the semen will go in, you'll be fertile, So she lays back and she's like, "I don't care. I'm going to have a baby." Like, Daphne, girl, you crazy. So he leaves. And then finally she leaves and goes back to England. I mean, I guess they're in England, but whatever, wherever she's from. But because she's the Duchess, she doesn't go back to her family home. She goes back to his house that he has there because he's a duke and he has like 17 houses. Anyway, the things you worried about, I'd go to each house and decorate, but that's just me. She goes back to the house. They're separated. The mom comes back and is like, "What's wrong? Why isn't your husband here?" And she's like, "Mind your business. It's not your business." And everybody comes, not everybody, but the three older brothers, and all of them want to fight Simon. Well, he's wrong first, but then she's wrong second. So they're both wrong.
Yes, but he did not cause any type of physical harm to her.
He did not.
He did not force her to do anything. This is all her doing. All of it.
That was the last straw for him because you basically are telling me you don't respect my boundaries. Is what it boils down to. Mm-hmm. And so she writes a letter because she's like, "It's been a month. My period hasn't come. I'm pregnant. You got a baby on the way, ho." So she gives the letter to Anthony. Anthony goes, sees him. Anthony is like, "I'm not even going to fight you because you look depressed. Why aren't you with your wife?" Like even Anthony, and by the way, Anthony and Simon were best friends. So like Anthony's in a precarious place. Like he's like, "There's something off with you. I know there's something wrong with you. You're sitting here miserable. And my sister is sitting there miserable. Why aren't you together?" Yep. So he gives him the letter. He reads the letter. He was like, "Oh my God, she's pregnant." And he's happy about it.
He realizes that. But
Yes.
Also, during this time, she finds letters that
Mm-mm.
Simon, not yet.
That's in the show.
No, in the book, she talked to the nursemaid. The nursemaid like
Yeah,
told.
no, but the letters came from the same night they made out in the garden. She got the letters from one of the dad's friends.
How did she find out in the book about the dad? The nursemaid, right?
The nurse told her
Okay,
about the dad. Yeah.
my bad.
Yeah, I had to go back and reread it because I was like, it's been some years. But yeah, that was entirely different. They changed it up for the show, which honestly in the show it kind of makes more sense.
Yeah.
But anyway, so he leaves. He goes to the house and he's like, "Where's my wife?" It was like, "She's out riding." He's like, "Riding? She's pregnant. She can't be riding." So he goes to the park to go find her, and they have a hubbub, and she falls off of her horse, and he's like, "Oh my God, Daphne, you're the love of my life. Don't fall. You're pregnant. What are you doing?" And she's like, "I'm not pregnant." And he was like, "You lied to me. Why would you tell me you're pregnant?" And she was like, "Well, I thought I was pregnant, and then my period came, so I'm not pregnant." And then they have a discussion, and he was like, "Look, I can't let my dad win. You're right. I do want to have a kid with you. We should start now." And then they go back to the house
And start now.
Well, they tried to, but the brothers are there because they're
Freaking
mind your business. And he was like, Anthony's like, "I want you to convince me that you love my sister." And he's like, "I don't care about what you want." And he walks off with Daphne, and he tells her basically for the first time that he loves her. And then when they were wanting to go upstairs, because he was like, "I could show you too, if you get my vote." And then when they're they're there, they hear a woman's voice outside the house. Now it's not ladylike. Women should not be speaking loudly. It's the mother. "I can't believe you came over here interfering in her marriage, and none of you are married. Why are you worried about her marriage?" And she and it's so funny because in the book they'll let you know, like, the mother is like a short lady. She's like 5'2". She's very petite, and they're all petrified of her. Like, they don't say anything. It's even Simon was like, the mother is going off, and they're like, "I'm sorry, Mom. It won't happen again, Mom."
That's the type of respect I want.
Yeah. Yeah. So they are out the house, they go upstairs, they do the do, and create a child. And they have 4.
And she follows suit with the ABCD.
Uh-huh. And then that's the epilogue. And then they have a second epilogue where Colin comes to visit, and he's married to Penelope, and they have 3 kids. One of them has a stutter, and she finds out the youngest of her children is 16, I think. And she finds out she's pregnant again. So she's on baby number 5.
And they're still madly in love with each other. She
Yep.
got everything she wanted.
Yep. 3 girls and 1 boy. It was super cute.
I liked it.
It was super cute.
I listened to it. It used
Yeah.
to be back in the day. It used to be available on Audible Plus, but
Yeah.
it is no longer available. But check your local libraries.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
the audiobook was good. It was narrated very well.
Mhm.
Really good. I enjoyed the book a lot when I listened to it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was super cute. She would be my second favorite book out of the whole series.
She would. I haven't finished the whole series, so
My favorite was Francesca.
that's the spicy sister. Right? The one that doesn't want to get married, wants
Oh,
to.
that's Eloise.
That's my favorite.
That's Eloise. I didn't care for her story at all. I thought she was an idiot in that book.
I gotta see. I hope not.
Yeah, I didn't like her. I didn't like her in the book. I like her more in the show than I do in the book. It's crazy.
Maybe that. Yeah, because I like her in the show. I think she's hilarious.
Yeah, no, in the show she's great. In the book she was not like that. I was like, this girl's
Okay.
an idiot. But Francesca is the one that just happened last season with Penelope and Colin's love story. I felt like her love story was chef's kiss, immaculate. I loved it.
In the book or the show? Because I've heard
In the book.
Okay.
I thought it was fantastic in the book.
Okay.
So yeah. So that is just a brief recap. We're now going to go ahead and watch the series. So it'll be weeks for us. It'll be in the next scene for you. We'll see you later.
All right, so now we're gonna go over the show. All right, so starting with the first episode, we are meeting the Bridgertons, and they are in a tizzy because they are getting ready for Daphne to come out. Anthony, or Anthony, the way I even put it in the notes with a big T for you. Anyway, a little backstory. In the audiobook, they call him Anthony, and Collette says it's Anthony, which
because written is TH.
I have to agree with Collette. I like messing with Collette. There's just something that just likes for me to get under her skin. And I get under her skin when I say Anthony. So join me in having some fun today and annoying Collette. So anyways, Anthony is the head of the household, and they are wondering where he's at. He's out being a hussy. He is a hussy. He is the head of the family. Now, all the siblings are named. I think we went over this already in the previous. So we know
alphabetical order.
Now, this is where things are a little bit different than the book. First, we have Lord Featherington, who is still alive. Yeah. Second, we're introduced to Burbrook, and he is someone who is older, and he's gross, and he's pompous, and he's entitled. He is not like that at all in the book. As a matter of fact, in the book, him and they're actually really good friends. That's another thing that is different from the show and the book, is that in the show, they just show Daphne as someone who's they show Daphne as someone who is just struggling a little bit coming out. That is not the case. Well, she did struggle a little bit in the book, but it was different. It was because everybody saw her, all the boys saw her as a friend because she grew up around her brothers and his friends. So she's just the girl next door, like nobody.
She was super close to Colin in the book.
Yes.
And they did not portray that in the show
at all. They really just showed Colin as very flighty, not flighty, but very much his age. Like, he wasn't thinking about responsibilities. He was just thinking about what he wanted to do, have his friends. He didn't really take anything seriously. None of the guys, the Bridgerton dudes, really took marrying seriously.
Yeah.
Hence why we have the books. But anyway, now another thing that is different, and this, you see a little bit of it in the first episode, but not the way that you did in the book. Simon fell first, and he fell first from the beginning. He fell first as soon as he saw Daphne's interaction with Burbrook.
Yep.
Because she did end up punching him again, not in a way to like, it was like, you're acting like an idiot.
Right.
Punch.
Right.
Alone.
Because her thing was, she was the fourth child. So all her older siblings were boys. So she was used to scrapes and fights and all of that. Yeah. So she wasn't as, I felt like they made her a little bit more naive or immature in the show. And she wasn't that.
Now, also in the book, I don't remember Lady Danbury. She is my favorite character, but I don't remember her playing such a big role in Simon's life the way that they did in the show.
She was a part of Simon's life. She was best friends with his mom.
I remember that.
So
she was not the one that raised him.
No, not at all.
In the show, now, just to let you guys, in the show, a few episodes in, it shows a flashback where, and you guys already know all of this because of the previous, it shows a flashback where she goes in and she basically takes Simon under her wing. She's like, I'm going to make sure that he's everything he needs to be the Duke.
And that wasn't the case in the book.
That was not the case in the book at all.
Right. But I'm okay with that portrayal in the show.
Yeah, that wasn't bad.
Yeah.
And watching it again and watching Lady Danbury, she's a genius.
She is. And not only that, I like that they brought her in because to me, I feel like her character didn't really grow until we got to Colin and Penelope's book. Lady Danbury was always more so a hard ass in everybody else's book. When we got to Colin and Penelope's book, it was like, oh, Lady Danbury, you're really intelligent, you're smart, you're cool. She pays attention. So I love that they brought that in to the forefront in season 1.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because in the first book, the queen is not in it the way that they did in the first season. But I remember when me and Collette had talked about this before, she said, you said you understood why they did it that way.
Yeah.
Now everything's Anthony is still in love with an opera singer, or not in love, in lust. Because if he was in love, he would be like Colin with Mariana. He'd be like, or Marina. I mean, I'm sorry. Mariana. I think I need to, anyways. So he's in lust with her, and he tells her, I mean, it's pretty much the same thing that, so that's Lord Borbrook in the first episode, really, and throughout the season as well. That to me is the biggest, like, that was not the book. Because in the book, he ends up marrying one of her friends and he's happy and everything's great. There was no drama with Borbrook at all. The Featheringtons.
And then the Featheringtons, again, they got rid of a sister. They Judied her. If you ever watch Family Matters, Judy was the little sister. She walked up the stairs one day and never came back. We don't know where she went. They did that to the little sister. Like, there were 4 girls.
She went to boarding school.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was too young to get pregnant and sent to a convent. So
clearly
she got mixed up with the mafia something.
With the series, I still enjoyed the series. Series is really good. Like, Shonda Rhimes, her team of writers.
That's what I'm saying. Like, watching it, and I know that I listened to the book forever ago, but I still remember my feelings because I watched the show first and then listened to the book. Yeah. And I think they did an amazing job.
Yes.
Because I do think that people fail to understand that they make these seasons when it comes from a series of books in hopes of completing the series with as many books as there is. So they do have to, in order for some things to flow,
they have to pull from the other books and move it up.
Seasons, yeah. Like, so, let me see what else was there, because I just really took notes about it, like I was giving a breakdown. Borbrook was one of them.
And I feel like they didn't highlight the stutter as much in the book. Simon's stutter was a thing. Every time he got flustered or nervous, specifically with Daphne, he would stutter. And I feel like that was not touched upon. It was like, oh, I stuttered and my dad didn't like me in the show, but you rarely saw it. I think one time he got flustered in the show and that was it. But it was more than that.
After she was like, oh, I know what you're doing and we're doing it my way right now. And then what did you do?
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah.
And then
you just got me on the whole Simon thing. He just made me mad all over again.
And then Simon and Anthony, their friendship was weird.
I think it was weird in both the book and the show.
Yeah, their friendship was weird. And that just made me realize I don't understand male friendships. It's like, what? What is happening? There's no emotion. Unless I feel like you're disrespecting me. Other than that, there's no emotion.
You know what? Me growing up with my family, it's like if the boys were not ragging on each other, pantsing each other, or doing something like that, then it's now that I see men, you know, I guess because they grew up talking more about feeling stuff.
Yeah.
Even in the show, I'm like, can't you guys tell him to get his shit together? And it wasn't until the end that Anthony's like, you need to figure it out. Like, okay.
Yeah, and Anthony knew that they were fake dating. And they didn't portray that in the show. And I just felt like they should have did it because it didn't make him so mad. He didn't get mad until he kissed her in the garden, which that's what happened. And that's when he got mad. But
I'd be kissing him too.
You know what I'm saying?
I would have been a ruined woman for that dude.
You know what I'm saying? But overall, if I'm just being completely honest, I actually like the show better than the books.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they added more comedy into the show.
Yes.
Only because you get to see a little bit more of like extra scenes, obviously, that just, tickled my little heart. Yeah. I do. Colin gets on my nerves. Colin
got on my nerves in the book and in the show. So.
Penelope gets on my nerves. They belong together. Both of them get on my nerves.
Can I be honest with you? I like Penelope way more in the book. You know who got on my nerves? The sister.
Which one?
Eloise.
I love Eloise.
In the books, I could not stand her.
I only read the first book.
Yeah, I couldn't stand her at all. Like, she was very upset that Penelope and Colin got married. And the way they portrayed it in the show, mind you, this is season 3, so we're not. But the way they portrayed it in the show is that she found out that she was Lady Whistledown. So she was like, my brother doesn't know, and you're writing all this stuff about him, and you're not a good friend, and blah, 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 whatever. In the books, Colin knew that she was Lady Whistledown. And he was mad about it because he went on all his travels and he wanted to write a book about his travels. And she was like, oh, well, I can help you. And he felt like, how dare you? You're a woman. He's like, well, I manage a gossip column. I do really well. And I didn't like that at all. Like, they were friends, but it was just the fact that she was your friend that but you're talking down on what she does. Like, I didn't like him. I didn't like him in the book. I don't like him in the show.
No, he got on my nerves, both in the book and in the show, and so did Penelope. Well, you know what? Penelope in the show, because I honestly don't remember much of her in the book. Again, I listened to it like 2 years ago. I should have, and it's not available on Audible Plus anymore. Anyway, just the way that she got with Marina, like, girl, just tell her that you're in love with him.
Yeah, Marina,
another suitor. Like,
Marina is from Eloise's book. That's why they brought her into season 1. Marina ended up marrying Philip Crane, which was the brother of the guy she got pregnant for.
Yeah, he came in.
Well, in the book, in Eloise's book, Marina was her cousin.
Well, that's how they said it here, like a distant cousin on the father's side.
Yeah, of the Featheringtons. Marina was Eloise's cousin.
Oh,
yeah. She was Eloise's cousin.
Never known that difference.
Yeah, and she ended up dying, and so she would write to Philip Crane and was like, "Hey, I'm so sorry about your loss." But then they started corresponding, and they liked one another. And then she ended up going to Philip Crane and falling in love, and she had the 2 kids. Which is why she had the set of twins in the show. She had the 2 kids and she ended up being their parent and going from there. That's their story. So that's why they brought in Marina, because I was like, there is no Marina. Who is Marina? And then when I got to Eloise's book, I was like, oh, I understand. It makes sense why you brought her in so that we can see how she gets with Philip Crane.
I think in the show, at least, because I know you've read all the books, I believe that Eloise is hilarious.
Yes, the show definitely made her better. In the book, she was such a know-it-all. She was Lizzie from Pride and Prejudice. She was a know-it-all. She was insufferable. Ugh.
Insufferable.
Word of the day.
Yeah, I was gonna say that word. Insufferable. I have yet to watch the 3rd season.
I enjoyed it.
Did you?
I did.
I
When I
know
initially watched it, I didn't like it because everybody was bashing season 3, and I feel like their comments affected the way I viewed it.
that's what I've heard. I've heard that they changed a lot from the book
They did.
to the
But
show.
then when I went back and watched it, I was like, no, season 3 was actually really good.
Like really good as entertaining or really good as comparison to like
Okay, so in order, season 1 is my favorite, season 2 is my least favorite, season 3 is my second favorite. So
okay.
season 3, season 1, season 3, season 2 is the way
Okay.
I rate it.
Now, is there with everything that they were saying about the differences?
Okay,
That's
so
what
the
I mean.
differences
Like
I understand.
you liked the entertainment part. There are differences, but you didn't let that get in the way of.
Well, no, the one thing I didn't like was Hyacinth. I didn't like that they changed Hyacinth's story. Hyacinth, in her book, to me, had the best book out of all 8 books. And her story was she basically fell in love twice. She got 2 great loves in her lifetime. And
Mhm.
she fell in love with her guy. He had a best friend. Um, and the best friend was in love with her from jump. But the best friend to her husband was like, that's my best friend. I can't. But they
Yeah.
were always 3 peas in a pod. They always hung out together, everything. So they had a really good friendship. You might as well call him the best friend too. So the husband and the husband's best friend were both of her best friends. They were always together. The husband dies. So they get married. The husband dies. When they got married, the husband's best friend moved because he was like, I love you, but
I
I
can't.
can't be with you.
Yeah.
And it hurts to see it. So he was like, oh, I got a business. I'm just going to go and do, whatever. He leaves. So when the husband died, he came back and he was like, hey, I'm just checking on you, see how you're doing. And they ended up getting together and falling in love and, all of that good stuff. But her issue was she had an issue with getting pregnant. Like she had a lot of issues with that. And I
Yes,
just felt
that's
like,
what I heard about. Go ahead.
and that was a beautiful story for them to try to find have a kid. And in that time, there is no in vitro or any of that. And you're not a woman if you can't carry a child. You know what I mean? Just
Mhm.
all of that. And in the show, she meets the girl, Michaela, because it was Michael that she fell in love with in the book, the best friend.
Okay.
And now Michaela comes in and she's attracted to Michaela. So
they changed the struggle from infertility to
to
being.
lesbianism, which is fine. But I'm like, I just feel like there are so many people that suffer from infertility. That was like for me, I loved it.
Yeah,
I absolutely
you
loved
feel
it.
seen. You feel,
Yeah.
damn. Well, yeah.
So I'm not saying that they can't have homosexuality because what's his name? Not Colin, the other brother, Benedict. He dabbled in it a little bit. I didn't care one way or another. I was cool with that. Benedict, do what you do. But I just felt like for Hyacinth specifically,
They could
that
have
took away
added
from her
that
story.
struggle to like you could have added a character
Yeah.
that had that struggle and leaned on Hyacinth for support,
Yeah.
not change, especially with so many like fertility issues is a big thing. So to kind of
Yes.
like, we don't think it's that important. We think it's more important to have this portrayed in
Yeah.
the show.
And I
So
wonder if it's because right now a lot of people are just like, why does the woman have to have a baby? You don't. But in that time, that was a thing. You had a child.
can we just
And there
like
are women that want to
era?
have kids.
Is that era appropriation?
Right.
You know what I'm trying to say? Like,
Right. Exactly.
Like you're not going to see
So
them in a carriage vaping. Now you might see them smoking a pipe.
right. Right. So yeah, it just that bothered me, but only because I was like, now you're changing it from the infertility, because I wanted to see her story. That was my favorite book, and I just felt like you guys, you're ruining it for me.
Yeah, that's understandable. That's understandable.
So, but yeah, overall, I still think this is the one instance, because I think we did 2 before. Yep, we did 2 before. This is the one instance where I'm like, the
Yeah,
show
I
was
love the
better.
show. I love the book. The one thing that I did love about the book more than the show was that you did get to see Simon fall harder. Like
Yes.
Because he fell hard, like hard. And you don't really see that in the show. You see it a little bit. Like you could tell he's attracted, but it wasn't just attraction in the book. Like he woke up thinking about her. He went to sleep thinking about her. He, it wasn't hard.
He eat, breathe, shit, Daphne.
Yeah, and it wasn't hard for him to decide to stay.
Yeah.
Season because of Daphne. Like in the show, they made it more like it was an inconvenience, and he didn't want to help her, and that wasn't. He fell hard, and he fell fast, and he fell first. So, yeah. So we pick the show on this episode. We vote show is better than the book in this instance. Let us know what you guys think if you've read the book and watched the show, and if we missed any differences. Let's convo about it. Let's conversate.
Absolutely.
Conversate. I forgot what.
No,
I know. It's a thing between me and Alana because, anyways.
You like to say conversate?
RuPaul's thing. Anyway, drag show. There's a clip. He's like, I just want to conversate. And the girl's like, it's converse. She's like, what? She's like, just say talk. Anyways. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Yeah.
Please like, share, subscribe, and comment below so we can talk.
Yeah.
And we will see you guys next time.
Bye.